FreeWave is releasing a new configurable hardware platform that we're calling the FreeWave Fusion. It is currently in development, and first articles are starting to roll off the line now. This hardware platform, for the first time in FreeWave's product line, is configurable hardware. So rather than having a single board computer with a single FreeWave radio on it, this platform can be configured to the user's needs with up to 2 radios. So this allows us quick integration of third-party radios and devices, as well as opens up our opportunities to expand radio topologies and to build solutions for any environment and any network. We'll be releasing the first iteration of this. We expect general availability in Q1 2021. And then throughout 2021, we will be building out support both for radios, upgraded compute, and I/O. This is a simple block diagram of the Fusion platform. On the left, you'll see the standard FreeWave radio. We are starting out with the FreeWave 900 MHz Z9 in terms of support. On the right, we have a new feature, which is an MPCIe port that allows us to integrate third-party radios. And we're starting in 2021 with a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth radio, and then moving forward with radio support throughout the year. So we'll be releasing this support as the year goes on. On the top, we're starting out with this single board computer, this edge computer, with a NXP IMX6 processor platform. So this will allow us upgraded compute from our current product line. And as we move throughout the year, we will be building up support for more capable processors, as well as exploring the potential for upgraded hardware acceleration to solve more compute-heavy problems. And I'll go into more of that later. On the bottom, you'll note the flexible I/O. To start, this platform will have all of the standard I/O that is expected out of an industrial product like this: serial, Ethernet, USB. But as the product matures, we plan to expand support for digital and analog general purpose I/O, and then more exotic or targeted I/O, such as CAN bus, and expanding into connecting sensors from other companies. So as I said before, this integration of a second third-party radio allows our customers to really bridge and expand environment into new networks. So many FreeWave customers will already be familiar with the gateway endpoint topology. That is how our current ZoomLink radios are set up. The integration of a third-party radio allows us to expand that topology from network to network. So if a user wants a private ISM band network running 900 megahertz at their installation, but wants to backhaul that data over a different network, say private LTE, this will allow that opportunity. In the middle, we have a kind of general purpose topology, which is the bridging from network to network. So if users have private LTE networks, for example, 4G LTE network on one side, and on the other side have an ISM band network, the Fusion bridge will be able to be configured so that data can be passed transparently from one network to the other. On the top right, we have what we're calling the secondary backhaul topology. This topology allows the device to intelligently choose which network it sends which data over. So for example, if a radio is connected to a Z9 900 megahertz network, as well as a Wi-Fi network, and it has a large file to send, it can intelligently choose to withhold sending that file until it comes within range of a Wi-Fi network, so as not to send a large file over the 900 megahertz network slowly and choke that command and control network, for example. A iteration on this is on the bottom left, failover or quality of service topology, which is, in this case, a user has a mobile asset that is going in and out of cellular range, so that radio will connect to the cellular range when it can, and if the asset moves out of that range, it can switch to the longer range ISM network so that the asset is never out of touch. And finally, on the bottom right, we are building for the possibility that the user is ultimately going to switch networks. And this is our way of kind of future-proofing the Fusion platform. So say you're running on an ISM network, a 2.4 gigahertz network, and your operation has moved within cellular range, or our cellular range has moved within your operation, potentially, and you're looking to switch to the higher bandwidth network. This device will allow you to switch from one network to the next in a single form factor without any loss of contact. So this can be as simple as flipping a switch. So this is what we're exploring in terms of topologies and in terms of building the right radio configurations to the right solution. This is what we want to be building out support for and what we will be building out support for throughout 2021. To start, we are releasing what we're calling the Fusion Wi-Fi bridge configuration. So this will be the first configuration that is supported off of the line when we release the first iteration of the platform here in Q1. This is a dual radio bridge that has the Zoom Link radio on one side and a Wi-Fi card on the other. And this is configured so that the Wi-Fi card will be a Wi-Fi access point. And so the user scenario that this was built for was a real life customer scenario that we were facing. And the customer wanted to be able to create an access point, a Wi-Fi access point on mobile assets for their operations. So they wanted equipment in their tractors and their assets, and as well as equipment that their operators were carrying, such as tablets, to be able to have wireless internet connectivity anywhere in their operation. Now their operation has a 900 megahertz network, so the user can now install these on their assets, mobile or static, and that will create a Wi-Fi access point that will seamlessly pass Wi-Fi data from their operators, from their assets to the internet and back over the 900 megahertz network. So they're always connected at long range. So this is the iteration we're coming out with initially. Key features and tech specs are on the right there, and we will be moving into beta testing this soon. Please get in contact if you are interested. Further than this initial release, we have kind of these holistic plans for building out the line throughout 2021. So what we intend to do, and what we're already doing, is add new features based on the customer need. So right now, FreeWave is reaching out and working with customers, systems integrators, subject matter experts, as well as companies developing new technologies for new bands and geographies, and identifying where the need is to integrate these technologies. So as we identify technologies such as cellular or satellite, we are prioritizing those for support on this platform. And because this platform, the hardware and the software was built in a modular way, we can bring up new technologies on the platform and this form factor extremely quickly. So we plan on releasing multiple new supported radios throughout 2021, working with customers, identifying their exact needs, and building something that will help to solve their problem, so that as a reward for helping us and as a reward for describing their user scenario, we can build something that solves the customer's problem as well as have this in the FreeWave line card. And as I said, we're looking to upgrade our compute and other technologies to solve kind of old problems or problems that were unsolvable before with new methods with these new radio topologies and hardware. On the platform side, we are planning to not only upgrade our compute to have higher level compute options to the users that need that, we are looking at integrating machine learning and artificial intelligence accelerator hardware in order to start to solve new problems in new ways, specifically with things like computer vision that require the kind of hardware that can run those algorithms. On the radio side, we are looking to move to a true dual radio capability. So no requirement that one slot on this be a FreeWave radio. This will be a FreeWave or third-party dual radio device, such that we can configure the radios along with the compute to meet the needs and only the needs of the customer's problem, saving them cost on the initial investment. And then finally, building out universal I/O. The goal here, the blue sky scenario, being that we want to be able to connect with any hardware and any protocol, no matter how novel or exotic. So this is a distinct challenge in terms of hardware as well as protocol integration in our software. And we think that we have a platform that is flexible and modular enough to get to a point of being able to connect most of the devices that our users are connecting. And with that, of course, would come a suite of recommended hardware, both our hardware and third-party hardware that we support, and we'll be building out things like app notes and solution examples for. So this is what our 2021 looks like in terms of building out Fusion and building out the platform. As I said, we'll be looking into upgrading and supporting new radios throughout the year, and this is what our roadmap currently looks like. This is how we are prioritizing. So Q1 of 2021 will be Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. That's the initial release. That will also include a FreeWave 900 megahertz Z9 radio. It is built on an NXP IMX6 platform, and the I/O will be the standard USB, Ethernet, and serial I/O. Immediately after that, as a fast follower, we will be releasing support for likely cellular and potentially satellite, moving towards private LTE and LoRa as those landscapes develop, and then moving down the line to things like V2X, Zigbee, as the customer need is identified. On the compute side, we will be moving towards the higher level and more powerful NXP IMX8 platforms, as well as R&D on hardware accelerators, as I said before. And then the I/O will be built out first with digital and analog I/O in terms of a configurable universal GPIO, and then moving into things like CAN and specialized connections for sensors and industry protocols as we identify them. So this is the future of FreeWave Fusion. Excited that our first iteration of this will be releasing soon here. If you're interested in that, we'd love to hear what your scenario is. If the FreeWave Fusion initial release can help you, we'd love to speak with you. Otherwise, we want to hear what your challenges are, what you need to solve, what your customers need to solve. So for more info, please check out freewavefusion.com/product/fusion. Get in touch and let's talk. Thank you for your time.